What is up, people? Hello and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another Cup Chasers podcast. That's right, we got Asif and Nez in the building as always. How we doing, gentlemen?
Cool.
3 thumbs up.
3 thumbs up. That's right. Go ahead and smash up all the like button, the subscribe button, all the buttons down there, the notification button. Make sure you got all of that taken care of right out the rip. It does help the channel road to 500 subscribers, of course, and we want to know your thoughts, questions, comments, concerns, admonitions, deepest, darkest desires and dreams down in that comment section below. Alrighty, gents, we'll kick it off immediately with some talk on the World Cup qualifiers. Should we start happy or sad? Because there is some sadness and there is some jubilation. Why don't we start with
sad, because happy is a good way to end. Happy ending.
There we go. Who is the saddest of them all? I'm going to say Mr. Gattuso, who once was a champion and now, according to his Instagram post, is going to have to live abroad for a while.
Based on his words,
That's what he said.
The funny thing about that is that I was looking at, I forget the guy that set up they said he sent the manual for Italy to what to do to develop. And one of the things that they said, I saw it on Instagram, like a guy went through, he said, and one of the most standout things that I saw was it said, develop strikers. And literally, okay, Italy went down a man, but like they've been just toothless in attack for you name it, right? And so to look at that and to see mistakes from defenders when Italy is known for defending, and then really nothing. You kind of got what you got, man. And what's so crazy about it is, Bosnia was playing for like literally the badge, the flag, the heart. Edin Dzeko, former City player, was like, I'm 40 and I'm going to the World Cup. And they had him in the headlock a couple of times, a full Nelson a few times, and
Calafiori actually played well.
Yeah, he did. He played very well. And so I don't know, man. I don't have the answer. But well, here's the funny thing. ESPN said this, and it was kind of disrespectful what they said. In my perspective, is they said Italy played Norway twice and they gave up 7 goals, and they talked about Norway like this was 1912 or something. Like, hey man, Norway's good right now, right? Like talking about a team that like literally is good with good players.
They won every game in the qualifiers,
right. And they're like, well, they should have they just let them put they let them put what. So I was like, you know what? I think that it's the nostalgia, the nostalgia hounds and all that. But yes, I agree with the commentary that there's a generation of Italian football players that have never seen their national team play in the World Cup. Even though low-key jab, I don't know if I want to see a proud American. I don't know if I want to see the United States in this World Cup because I don't know what that's going to look like. But I understand sort of the flip side. But then one other note they said, well, they have to improve the Italian league. And it's the reason because they don't have enough Italian players. I'm like, but the best players on Italy's team were good enough to carry that team to win.
Were they? Because I was switching back and forth during the games yesterday, and so I went back and I watched like a full highlight, and I just so happened to clicked on the TUDN, the highlight pack that was in Spanish. I was doing something else at the time, so I didn't bother to like change it, and I just listened to it in Spanish. And they were saying that Sandro Tonali is the best Italian player.
Yes, that's what I heard too.
Yeah, that's an issue. That's an issue. Good player, sure, but like. And Moises Kean, great finish, but you also missed a breakaway that would have put your team into the World Cup, and it's not like we're talking about the Mario Balotellis, the Christian Vieri's, the Alessandro Del Piero's, the Andrea Pirlo's. We're not talking about those people like that anymore. It's just a far cry from all of that,
Yeah, no, they
Tough.
used to be they used to be known for flair players, defense, rock hard defense. That were, Italians were famed for the defense going back to like Baresi, Maldini. Most like the last time they won the World Cup, it was based on that terrific defense.
Materazzi, yeah.
And and
Fabio Cannavaro was
the
captain, yeah.
But they're a far cry from it at the moment. And
it's baffling.
We mentioned Esposito, the Inter Milan player. They have some interesting young players coming up. Let's see if the next couple of years, I think that's what they should try to do. Try to think of a long-term plan, like England did, and then try to do it from there. I'm not saying England's like the best blueprint for it. It's more Spain or Italy, but I think that's would be the direction I would have headed if I was in charge of the Italian FA. It's nothing to do with foreigners. It's the fact that if you're good enough, you'll play, basically, and that's how it is in the Premier League. We've got people from all over the place, but if you're English and you're good enough, you play.
Well, what I find interesting to see, just to go to your point, man, is even during the times where you would say England wasn't in their golden generation, they had at least like one standout player in like every line, like in an attacking line and the midfield line and the defending line and the keeper. Italy, I couldn't tell you an Italian striker if you was like, hey, tell me one. Like I can the last Italian midfielder. I mean, what De Rossi was, I think, Italian, and I think Pirlo, and I mean defenders are just like a slew of those. But like, hey man, like. But Balotelli literally is the last one I could think of that was like a striker for them or a creative midfield player. So I'm like, that's on them. And so to your point, to even though, I mean, I know you're being humble about it, about England, but England didn't play around. They made sure the big teams had good players that were homegrown in their teams. And so when you make sure the teams that are challenging for the title always are developing domestic talent, even if they didn't turn out to be like the greatest stars, they still could play. I'm gonna use an example. Jack Wilshere. Everybody swore he was the greatest thing in the world, but Arsene Wenger made sure he got developed. And even though he didn't turn into what everybody else thought he would, Jack Wilshere made the national team in it, and you knew like the guy at least had talent where okay, every now and then he can give you one. I haven't heard, and the thing is, I don't really follow Serie A like that, but like, so you don't have any attacking or flair midfield players, whereas all of them are in France and in Spain, and I'm going to say England because England has flair players, or in Germany. Like, how did they get skipped? That's them, man. So I agree with you, Asif. They I would say take the England path.
Yeah, I mean the you mentioned it. The thing that Roberto Baggio was talking about. I saw that post on Instagram like right before we came live, and I mean, sometimes you just got to hit the reset and find a spot and just build on it and build on it and build on it and build on it and build on it, instead of doing the Spurs and throwing out the plan and then starting a new plan and then throwing out the plan and starting a new plan and throwing out the plan and starting a new plan. But we'll get to that.
It happened with Germany when they lost to England. Back in Munich, I don't know if you remember, back when Owen and Heskey were up front, and
sure,
they started a whole new plan from there. They were like, "Oh no, we messed up." They had the fiasco against Brazil as well, and they built up from scratch. Have you seen the generation? It's not saying it's like one of the best German generations, but it's getting better. They put a long-term plan in place. And I think that's a blueprint that the Italians should be doing. I'm not saying Germans are the way they were before, but they're getting better. If you look at the players coming through now compared to what it was, yes. So it takes a bit of time for it to.
And to your point, but how did that happen? Because didn't they win the Euros in 10 years, something like that? Is that right?
The COVID one, right?
It was like
the one.
18.
Was it the one before the Qatar World
It
Cup?
wasn't the last one. It was the one before that because it was England and they beat England in England.
Before the one where it was in England when they played in the final.
So that was like at least 17, 18, something like that.
That was 16. That was the same time as the Olympics were in England. Yeah, I mean, as the Olympics. It was. I remember that. It was 2016.
So you telling me in 10 years from a Continental Cup winning team outside of the goalkeeper, that's all you got.
But you have to look at that team. At that time, they were aging. You had Chinelli, you had Bonucci, you had Perillo in that team. You had a lot of old players, so they didn't have a succession.
You're making the point. Yeah. You're making the point. But think about the England team. Like the England team when the guys were old and long in the tooth. There were young guys. Like Rooney was young compared to a lot of those guys, right? You were bringing other guys along. Like that's literally what your manager is for.
No, but we had a change at grassroots, and we were trying to model it on the French Clairefontaine national, how they do it in France. And I think it's reaping results at the moment.
For sure.
Even if you look at the
France is doing something right, that's for sure.
Exactly. They bought their C team out the other day against Colombia and they still won. So, but,
crazy, man.
It's just when it comes to that, I think that would be the best way to do it. Even when we touch on England now, I'm just to say they have Rio coming through, they have Dowman. We've touched on these sorts of players before. Yeah. They're not in the squad at the moment, but the future looks bright.
Yeah. And who's coming through for Italy? Haven't heard a peep about any Italian anything.
The only one I can think of is Pio Esposito for Inter Milan. He was linked to Arsenal.
He got in the game. He got in the game at the end.
Yeah,
well, but you think about it, like
young. So.
Italy has if you think of you got your Napolis and both Milan teams, plus the Juves. So you got 4 historic teams. And so in those 4 historic teams, there's nothing happening in the youth ranks. I'm asking the question because it's kind of an indictment to not see anybody, right? Because, for example, England, and to see if you would know this, for example, England's U21 has been consistently good, for years. And those U21 guys are now in the national team and they're still young. So England is already set up, even though they have a good generation now, there's a next generation already working their way into the team now. And France is France. They again, C team, like you said. And Spain is kind of doing Spain has a weird thing because they're doing that, but there's a trust with the older guys, but they've always just played the best players. They don't care how old you are. They're hey man, we're playing the best players, and that's all we're gonna do. So it's just weird to see a federation do that. But then you look at the top teams there, and that's really the sort of the writing on the wall of the top teams are not performing. So if the top teams are not performing, then you kind of get what you get. And so and I'm breadcrumbing right here. If so, when Juve got into some issues, and I think Napoli had there was financial issues there, and those financial issues caused those teams to not be out in the market or to put money into the development of their players, and then it affected the entire national team. So imagine making financial hardships for your best teams in your country and then saying, that has a positive effect on the national team. Imagine the FA saying, let's punish them to make sure that works, right? Just that's my first breadcrumb. First one.
Yeah, no, I hear that. This past few months has been kind of a damning indictment on Italian football as a whole. I mean, they haven't succeeded very well in Champions League this season, have really struggled as well. And so, it's pretty bleak all across the board for Italian football. But let's not forget that second time ever that Bosnia has qualified for the World Cup. Big up Ed Dzeko. Still, the Crypt Keeper's dad over there still kicking, and hey, at the end of the day, those guys, they rode the wave, they rode the passion in the fans and the crowd, and they hit their penalties. And I watched the shootout. It was they did well. The the Italian guys taking the penalties wasn't great. It wasn't great, you know. And in the end, you know, they did what it took to get over the line, and we'll see them in just a few short weeks. We will indeed. Yeah. Czechia as well made it through past Denmark. Once again, they had to go to overtime and extra time, and I watched all of this very closely because I had a few wagers. I had a few wagers on it. Gamble responsibly, people, every single time. And Czechia is going to be difficult for anybody, whoever they play. It's going to be Patrick Schick's very good at the knockdowns, at the holding it up, the play there. I expected Denmark to beat them. Czechia surprised me. They're good. They're a good side. So whoever they come up against, it's going to be difficult. Now watch the Turkey-Kosovo game. That's the one I paid closest attention to, and Turkey don't defend well, man. They got some good attackers, but they're going to concede. they're going to concede some goals at the Cup.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but aren't they in the same group as you guys?
Yeah, they're still going to win the group.
Well, they're not going to concede goals to us.
I was throwing the shot too. I was throwing the shot too.
You might get the odd goal. Pulisic might turn up.
No, yeah, they're definitely Turkey. Definitely, I think they're gonna be just fine in our group. We are gonna struggle mightily. I think Australia is probably the wild card.
You never do.
Yeah, I'm not sure. And Paraguay will be strong. I think they'll be in contention to be the second place team in the group. So we'll see. We'll definitely see. But I think Turkey, yeah, they can be got at. I know that for sure. We might nick a couple, but the likes of Kenan Yildiz and Hakan Çalhanoğlu, they're gonna do well at the tournament, I think. What's up, Charles? Thanks for being here. Hello, gents. Italia's shame now extends 12 years. Who says it's not the Zidane curse since Materazzi curse? Zizou group stage exits 0 qualification. Yep. Zidane, he definitely he cursed him.
Especially if France wins this year. Which
is definitely stacking up.
But at least who's going to be the next French manager?
Yeah.
Boy. I know he was feeling great.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And, of course, my man Victor Gyökeres.
Yeah.
Have you seen the picture that's going around? The celebration was pretty cold, where he was sitting on he's sitting on the thing doing his mask, and all the Sweden fans behind him are doing the same thing. Oh,
I didn't see that. I saw him, but hey, man,
it's a pretty badass picture. You should. It's all over the Twitters and the Instagrams. It's out there.
It's not like a dub for your country, man.
Yeah, I'll send it to you later. 4 goals in the playoffs, and he's going to come back. He's going to come back firing, ready to go for the run-in for us. That's so good to see. And, of course, like there was heartbreak that night too. I know what it's like as a fan to watch your team get that close and go out of the tournament. I'll never forget in 2017, in December or whenever it was of 2017, when Tim Howard let in a half-field shot versus Trinidad and Tobago, and we didn't qualify for 2018 in Russia. And I can feel that in my gut right now just talking about it. So especially for like Robert Lewandowski, standing there, it's probably his last international game.
I remember
having to say goodbye to the Poland fans.
I remember in England. I know we've qualified for quite a few tournaments now, but back in the day, we weren't qualifying for a lot. It was very hit and miss. So you do feel for them.
It's difficult. Yeah, it's difficult, man. And knowing that you don't get another shot for like a long time is rough.
But the thing is,
Great Britain, we've got Scotland in there as well. So
yeah, but you're in Brazil. But they're in Brazil's group, man. It's over. It's over.
No, I obviously, but them just even getting there is a good achievement.
We were close to having Wales, Northern Ireland, Scotland, and England in a World Cup. Wales, Northern Ireland, and Ireland were all in the playoffs.
Exactly. But looking, if you remember the last time, I don't know if you guys remember it or not. The last time Scotland actually played
98
World Cup. Yeah, and then they fouled. They were like beating the hell out of R9, the original Ronaldo, and yeah, I remember him coming. There was a defender called Colin Henry. I don't know if you remember him. He tore Ronaldo's his shorts in the match. They brutally kicked but he still destroyed them. I still remember that game. That was it wasn't the best. The Scottish went for the brute force while they were going for the flair.
Oh yeah,
and
absolutely.
The second half they killed him. So
I mean, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do, man? Against R9, he was him.
When he was in his prime.
He was him. Andy was carrying an injury that tournament. All the way into the final. But yeah, man, that's why we love it. That's why we love the World Cup. It's and as much as we joke and carry on about it, I think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be fun for sure.
I think there's gonna be a dark horse like Morocco in the last World Cup. I do think there's gonna be a dark horse. I was
the world's most hated team right now.
I was impressed with Japan.
Yeah, man.
Versus England.
If you see some of the recent results against Spain as well,
they've won in that last 9, I think.
Yeah, they have been playing well, and don't know what everyone. I just wanted your opinion on them. Really, I think they are. The way they're playing at the moment, they beat Bolivia as well. They've beaten Brazil in a friendly.
England, Japan just beat England.
Yeah.
And they can get out of the group. It's Japan, Netherlands, Sweden, and Tunisia. They can get out of that group.
They're fine.
Back in October, they beat Brazil in the friendly as well.
Yeah, they did.
So
Karu Matoma scored versus England.
Mitoma. And
Mitoma, yeah.
I knew if there's anyone, it was going to be him. Especially because he plays for Brighton. But
that being said, England were not good in either of those games.
Yeah, we went. There was Arsenal. I think might have something to do with that. But we'll touch on that one.
Hey, Madueke played. Ben White played. Not great.
He didn't
play well, but he played.
Yeah, Ben White's a totally different thing. He's I'm sure you've probably every time he got the ball, he got bored. So that was a totally different thing. I think. There's some dark horses. I think in the World Cup that I feel that are going to do well. Maybe I think Japan is one of them. But that's
for sure.
That's one of my. But obviously, the favourites are going to have to be France and Spain, in my opinion. No. I don't see any of the South Americans at the moment. Maybe
Brazil. Maybe.
I'm not even feeling Brazil at the moment.
They can't stop France from attacking. Like, man, the C team was absolutely insane. So and they played their A team against Brazil and was cooking, man. Nah, man. And mind you, this was Brazil. I mean, this was France without Saliba. Like, so they weren't even like. I mean, they were like 90%. But dude, come on, man.
I think, and I know people haven't really talked about them. I think the Germans, how they played over the international break. I historically, and I know a lot of people just say write them off, but historically as well, I think the Germans always spawn when it comes to World Cup, and they could. I know a lot of people are not even talking about them, but they're one team that I wouldn't want to face if I was going forward.
They're like the USA's nemesis. Not in their minds. Not in their minds, because no one, but if you think about it, in 1998, Jurgen Klinsmann 2-0 in the group stage over USA. 2002, who knocked us out of our best ever World Cup run since the very first tournament ever? Germany. 2010, no, it was 2014. They sleptwalk and slapped us aside through a 1-0 in the third game of the group stage in that tournament. And so, like, I don't like seeing Germany in the World Cup ever at all. It's bad news for Americans when we play against the Germans in the World Cup. I'll tell you that much. So, yeah, I'm with you. They could be good.
I think one of the African teams can do well as well. I think Morocco could do well again. Or,
there's 10 African teams in this tournament.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, because they expanded the format.
So I mean, UEFA got a chance to do their thing, and they dropped the ball on the guys they were supposed to have in there.
But unfortunately for the fans, they're going to have to pay $15,000,
which is crazy
as a retainer. And
that is absolutely insane. I understand, and this is obviously not a political channel, but I understand what they're saying as far as the excuse they're making up. I understand what they're trying to say.
I get that.
But come on, man. Seriously, what USA is doing to the biggest sporting event, the most prestigious, most historical sporting event on the planet, it is kind of rubbing me the wrong way.
Well, it's funny because I think I sent you guys a thing where England, because England's hosting the Euros in 28, and they've shared their ticket prices. They're like, hey, 35 quid. Why? And those games are going to be good. They're going to be good.
It's kind of sad. You kind of laugh so you don't cry. But there is, when I really take a step back and look at it, I mean, I'm just like, guys, you're not even trying to hide the money grabs. You're not even trying to hide the blatant bullshit. It's out of control.
So you saw the thing about the fan zones, but did you see? Because so this past summer, this fall, me and my buddies went up to MetLife to watch the Niners and the Giants play, because my buddies are Niners fans. Sure. And we were there, we were tailgating. They have the Niners, tailgate, giant group. And then so the news came out that one, you got to take mass transit to get there. There's only one train that goes there. One. So you already know that's about to be ridiculous. And two, there's no tailgating allowed, which means that you're not going to be. Dude, you don't understand how insane New York is about to be. And that's going to be crazy.
Yeah. That's going to be absolutely crazy. Charles, I did not get a World Cup ticket. And if it's like the last World Cup, Peacock will probably be doing it in Spanish. Exclusively Spanish.
Well, let's look, man, because I thought it was just on Fox, man.
Well, last tournament, Peacock broadcasted every game, but it was only in Spanish. Fox has the rights. I know that Fox has the rights for sure, as far as regular cable. But if they do what they did last tournament, Peacock had it on in Espanol.
It's like a Telemundo version or something like that.
It is. It was great. Oh my God, I loved it. It's so
much better in Spanish.
I absolutely loved it. Hey, and you know what? You know what, Charles? I'll be doing watch-alongs, and I'll be watching it in Spanish, and I'll be translating.
Okay, and I got your answer. So, Charles, here you go. Fox Sports will have all 104 matches, and on the Fox Sports app, Spanish language coverage is on Telemundo. It'll also stream on Peacock.
There you go. So I'll be doing my watch-alongs. I'll be doing some translating and making fun of the Spanish commentators. That's going to be a lot of fun. And my wife might come in midstream while I'm going, goal, and slap me. So that might be good viewing. So stay tuned. Get the notification bell on for that one.
Man, that's great. But it's crazy because, to Charles's point, I mean, just shout out to the Cup Chasers crew in total. Patrick, hopefully Patrick got through the line, because I know Patrick was on hold for 5 hours waiting on it. That's crazy,
today.
Man. That's absolutely bonkers, man. What are we doing? And the thing, I could understand if the stadiums getting fixed, or if they're concerned about the third party ticket. But you're worse than the third party ticket guys. You're worse than them because people are still going to sell those tickets. Like, let's not pretend like that's not going to happen. That's still going to happen. The third parties are still going to sell the tickets.
Yeah,
that's crazy, man.
Yeah, it's nuts. And I mean, it's even becoming a problem. That kind of thing's becoming a problem in England, and they call it tailgating in England.
That's what we had in the when we had,
which is not the same as it is here.
No, when we had the trouble at the Euro final, that was what caused it, the tailgating against Italy. And yeah, I think that's going to be. Apparently, we've gone more stricter on it. If you found tailgating now, straight up ban, etc.
Yeah,
fair enough. So, Charles is right though. That Arabic commentary is great.
Oh, dude, Arabic commentary. I can understand Spanish. I can't understand Arabic at all, but it's awesome. It's so much fun.
It has the same energy. It has the same energy as the Spanish ones.
Dude, when I actually enjoy listening to the energy behind different commentators. When Iceland in 2016, when that clip of the Icelandic commentator went around, when Iceland beat England to go through to the next round of the Euros, and obviously you can't understand a word he says, but when the guy steals the ball from, I don't know if it was Maguire or whoever it was, but he's like, it's a 2v the goalkeeper, right? And they're going to score. They're going to go through. When the commentator realizes that, it's unintelligible. He just starts screaming.
You know the funny thing is, I hate to be that guy. I'm proud, a proud American. You know all of this, but I think part of the issue is, and you probably know this because I've watched English commentary in England as well. I think we don't actually have people who know the game that well or love the game commentating on the game. We hire names instead of people who actually have a passion for it, because we could get that same kind of commentary for our games or just for games in general, because I know I'm a huge college basketball fan, and Gus Johnson is a name that, if you know anything about college basketball, is absolutely connected to energy. Mike Green in the NBA. These guys know the game. They love the game. So you're telling me there are no Americans who work in broadcast journalism that could call these games that are just your color guy. Just be the color guy, right? You don't got to be the boss of the show.
They used to do it, man.
They used to. I know.
They used to have
Dempsey,
on Fox Soccer Channel. Do you remember Fox Soccer Channel before NBC bought the rights to the Premier League? There was a channel called Fox Soccer Channel that you could pay extra for. It was like an extra channel on cable that you could pay extra for back in the day. And they would show Premier League games. They would show reruns. But every Monday night or every Tuesday night, they would replay the biggest game from the weekend, but they would mute the commentary and let a fan from either team do the commentary.
Oh, really?
It was one of the greatest shows on television.
That's awesome.
My, and they didn't they censored swearing, but they didn't tell you anything. They just say, do your thing, say whatever you want, go for it. It was brilliant. It was absolutely brilliant television.
No, but you guys have enough players, American players who played in Europe, for you to make up a commentary team, and who know the game well enough. Like I mentioned, there's Dempsey, there's McBride.
I'm a question know the game because they put Alexi Lawless up there, and you can kick every rock. Because if he's doing the game, I'm for sure watching it. And I don't really know him, but the commentary.
I love Landon Donovan. I absolutely love Landon Donovan. He's my favorite American player of all time. I listened to his commentary one time. Bro beans.
They're dead, man.
It's bad. It's so bad.
But yeah, like
no energy.
Tilsley, Ian Dark.
I don't know if you could put if you know who Clive Tilsley is, but if you're a UK fan,
no, he's right here. Charles knows who he is. He's right here.
Yeah, Tilsley. Yeah,
Ian Dark is my favorite.
Hey man, I think about it. Is that who did the Aguero goal? Was that
Peter Drury as well?
Drury? That was Peter Drury.
Now I'm talking about the proper Aguero with the long O, not the one that just did the regular. Because there was two of them. There was two commentaries for that day, and whoever did the long Aguero, that man, like it's just like these guys get it, man. Like, it's fine. Hire some other people to do the game. Something, just get it right, though, man.
Yeah,
just get it right.
I agree, absolutely. Segues are weird. The U.S. men's national team is awful. Just saying. Wow. Some really poor, a really poor performance versus Belgium, which was just wow. It's not great. It's not great, guys.
And Portugal.
I have
Portugal.
a question for you guys, actually. In regards to that,
Tyler, that's who it is. Thank
Martin
you.
Tyler. Okay, yeah.
Didn't you guys lose to Portugal today as well?
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's no harm in losing to Portugal, though.
There was no harm losing to Belgium either, right?
No, Belgium are a pretty good team.
We're just bad, man.
We're not good. It's just not.
We're bad, man.
We appointed.
Now I've got some more bad news for you.
Oh.
You're playing Senegal next at home, and then you're playing Germany at home.
What?
For the send-off games. The send-off games right before the tournament.
Games, yeah.
Oh, so they need to just completely demoralize them before they go. Gotcha.
That's what it
So
looks
like.
That's
gonna be 4-4-0.
I would have got the last two. I would have got at least a little bit of a easier opposition.
What are we doing?
What about the longest yard where you play a slack Division 2 team and beat the crap out of them and boost up morale? Like, why didn't we play Cape Verde or something? Like, like why don't let's get a team that we can actually compete with.
Jesus Christ, man.
It's not good. Did Bruno F up his ACL today in that game? I have not heard that.
I saw a thing that he got hurt, but I thought it was like
I have not heard that.
It was the April Fools. Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
I've gotten done in by a lot of them today. I'm not going to lie to you. I've actually gotten done in by a number of them. The first one that I got done in by was I opened up Instagram, and it was a picture of Tommy Tuchel, and he said, yeah, Ben White was really, really poor today. He really hindered us, and I really just can't stand it when players don't have that professional mentality and intensity. And I was like,
yeah, I didn't even read stuff because I'm like,
I did. I'm just talking about England. We were shit. We were absolutely terrible. I think.
Why was Phil Foden playing the 9, man? I know
exactly.
I'm saying it now as a City fan. He ain't making the team this year, man.
I thought he was hurt.
Well, he should have been hurt because what they got from him.
The way he played, yeah. But he was just, yeah. I don't think we should be. We're not playing our best second team basically. With Ollie, if Kane's not there, he should be Ollie Watkins.
Yeah, I didn't understand that at all, man.
On the right hand side as well. Why are you playing Ben White? No offense to Ben White, but you should be playing either Reece James or you should be playing Trent. Reece James is probably the first choice. If he's not there, then it should be.
Trent. Yeah, Ben White might not make it. The only thing I found was on X. Well, here's one on Facebook.
Menu, I thought that was that was
And apparently now this was before today, so it can't be April Fools. But I saw a rumor somewhere that they were considering calling up Kyle Walker instead of calling Trent. And I'm like, man, if he does that, he literally hates that.
No, that's dumb. That's dumb. I'm not sure. Sorry, but on this day we post one post for fooling as April Fools. Okay, so yeah, it's April Fools. The Bruno thing is April Fools.
All right,
they're not good. The Charles is about Argentina. They're not good, man. Hey, man, anybody who watched the last thing knows that they. Hey, man, I'm gonna leave my commentary on the last World Cup out. I'm gonna just stop.
I'm just gonna say, instead of instead of playing him at left back, Nico O'Reilly, I would have played him as a midfielder and have him in the main position.
Let's be honest, though. You know, this window for Tuchel was not necessarily about putting together his strongest 11 and trying to find consistency with the best 11. You know, and so you get it. You get it. Whereas as a hodgepodge, players that haven't really played together, you know, and there's not a lot of time to prepare for it. I don't think it's that big of a deal, really, that England were poor.
I think he is. I think Palmer's not he's not at his best.
He might not make it.
He might not make it either.
If he don't up his game at the rest of the season, yeah.
I don't think
Morgan Rogers will be there.
I don't think I'm not understanding the obsession with playing Rogers instead of what's his name? Sorry, Jude Bellingham.
Yeah, I don't think he likes him. I think it's literally a personal thing, or he just don't like him, which is insane.
But if you look at the two players that he's more or less ostracized, it is Bellingham and Trent. And they like.
So does he just not like Madrid?
He just maybe doesn't like Madrid. Honestly, I think though, when you guys play your send-off games, that's when we'll see the team. That's when it'll be even more important, you know. And all this noise about Arsenal players pulling out of internationals is a disgrace and all this crap. It's like, firstly, everybody was doing that. I don't recall Erling Haaland's playing in this break, you know. And half the guys were already injured. Eze injured. Hincapié took an actual knock in a game he played in. Madueke took a knock in a game he played in. Eze was already out. You know, what are we doing here? Ben White played.
I don't even know why that's a story. Like,
it's so dumb. That stuff is so dumb.
I think going back to England, I think the only one that actually impressed me was Anderson.
Yeah.
Elliot Anderson.
He'll be in a big team next year. Don't know which one, but he'll be in a big one next year.
Yeah, I know he's been linked with Man United, unfortunately. But
that'd be a great signing for them. I think that would be a fantastic signing for them. But yeah, it's going to be a fun World Cup. Should be some good stuff to look forward to. Of course, some crazy stuff to look forward to, of course. But speaking of looking ahead, we got a little Cup Chasers derby at the weekend, don't we? Liverpool traveling to the empty Had to face Manchester City, right back on the horse with another cup to play in after probably still feeling good, still feeling the glow after winning the Carabao Cup. So
I think you'll be interested.
What do we think?
What Charles has just mentioned.
What's Charles got to say here? I was going to make my notes. Tuchel's England will Haram ball their way to the semis. They'll adopt a certain revolutionary coach's tactics this summer and will base their progress on solid defensive foundations. Well, they're probably going to win on you got Declan Rice on one side and Bukayo Saka on the other for your corner kicks. I think you'll be just fine. I think you're going to be just fine on that.
Hey, man, if I haram ball my way to a cup, I do not care. Because all I know is if that's what Tuchel does for England, then all I'm going to hear from English people is it came home. That's all they're going to say. No one will care about anything else.
Not going to care at all. That's for sure. But yeah, Manchester City hosting Liverpool FA Cup quarterfinal. We're right back in the saddle with a huge game. Hugely huge clash. Obviously, there's been all kinds of craziness surrounding the rumors for Manchester City. And, of course, we've had Salah retire on this international break, sort of retire from Liverpool at least. So how are we feeling going into this one? It's kind of weird. It's not coming right back to a Premier League game after an international break. It's right back to the Cup.
It's two testimonials because Bernardo's leaving too.
I think we'll probably get beat.
Really?
Yes. It's away. We're playing shit away. So, have you seen our last couple of away games? How we've played?
It hasn't been great. It certainly hasn't been amazing.
And then, especially going to the Etihad. No, I'm not feeling it. the way slots having us, don't even get me started on that bold.
Is Isak back? Is Isak started training again?
Yes, he started training again. He might not be ready for this game though. I think it's probably a substitute appearance.
Yeah.
I mean, if I personally, because of the run for the league, I wouldn't even worry about him playing in this game. If I were running the team, I would care more about the league games than a cup game.
It's that's what I'm thinking as well. I wouldn't risk him. We've got a huge couple of games coming up.
Now wait a minute, man. Let me put my
what's up, Arun?
What's up, Arun? Throwing shade about somebody playing a non-league fixture. Now I know that's not what he doing. Because when do you play, sir?
When do you even play again?
When was the last time you played, sir? What?
I don't even. What was their last game? I don't even remember their last game.
Hey, man, I'm gonna need you to go ahead and just wait this one out until we call y'all in, because it's not your turn yet. It's not your turn. It's not your turn.
Oh my goodness! I mean, but the Champions League does come into play for Liverpool.
When he saw the news about Bruno Fernandes.
Yeah, I think it's fake news.
I think that
was an April Fool's one.
That was an April Fool's.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, it's there's no telling what the bald fraud's gonna do. I think it'll be a close game. I think it will be a close game. I don't think you're gonna get destroyed. Charles says Liverpool's in flux, top 4 or cup happiness. One or the other will give, and obviously the other can be successful. I mean, the thing about it is, even if you beat City, there's still, it's probably either us or Chelsea you'll face at some point. I mean, and even Leeds, West Ham, they can give you some trouble. They're still in it. So we'll see. And you got Paris to think about.
I would also, so my thing is to go ahead and see, because I ain't going to forget what I'm going to say. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, that's the, that's mostly what I'm going to be. I would prioritize the league and the Champions League over the FA Cup at the moment if I was slot. Especially
what's your league game? Go on.
Fulham. I just looked. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see, like, for me, if I'm slot and I'm looking at where I am, because I still have I'm not saying I don't have a chance in the FA Cup. But do I want to make a run in that, or do I want to make a run in the Champions League, right? And I personally want to make a run in the Champions League if I have a chance.
Exactly, which is why I think we should prioritize accordingly.
Do you think he will though? How will that look?
I would say it doesn't matter. Anyone who's not fit, who's a bit of a doubt, don't play him against City. It's as simple as that.
I wouldn't get anybody injured, because
so
imagine
you're
a cup game.
11.
Imagine playing a cup game, get your guy hurt. Now he misses Champions and he misses the league. You are crazy. There's no way.
I think there should be some rotation. I don't think there should be that much rotation.
Well,
I think
it ain't even rotation. These guys ain't played in forever. It don't matter who you start. It really don't.
I mean,
it feels like you got a long break. So because you had such a long break, it don't matter what 11 you put out there, because they've practiced so long together that it's okay. They can just figure it out. They've had enough time to practice. When you don't have real games, it's different.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that Man City are going to play their strongest 11. So Savio leading the line.
I bet he do. Funny thing is, I bet he does start. I bet he starts.
Really?
I think he starts.
How's that your strongest 11?
I didn't say your strongest 11. You said that. I said I bet he starts. I said I bet he starts. See, that's different.
I thought you admitted it.
No.
For a second, I couldn't believe my ears.
No, man, you heard what you heard. I bet he starts. And you know what? I wouldn't be shocked if he did that. The funny thing is, Savinho was trying to take Neymar's place in the team, and a one-legged Neymar is still 10 legs in front of him. But if he can play decent for the next couple of games, man, maybe he gets a call up. Not, but it's important to understand that he's still trying to impress someone.
I mean, Carlo is half drunk all the time down in at Carnival at the moment. So, maybe he'll Savino's in with a shot if he just keeps plying him with drinks.
Yeah, it's true. Now, even though so I'm on SeatGeek. Hey, man, tickets are like $250. I've seen some 100. So tickets are kind of they're trash games. They're all the trash games, but you can go to the World Cup for a decent price. Like, because in my brain, I was thinking, I'm like, I paid $200-$300 for some tickets. They got plenty of those here. So I'm not going to completely hate. So that third party, because this is SeatGeek, so this is not the first party. This is third party. There's tickets that are available that are reasonable. So, again, they still did the third party thing. It's whatever. Charles got a question for you, Asif.
Yeah.
Yes, we said Savino, sir.
With the Sal announcement, do you think he'll play a major role in Liverpool in the run-in? Or is it time for Isak to come in?
No, I think it'll be Rio. I think what I would do if I was Slot, and I think this would be the best way to do it, is play Salah in the games against PSG, and then in the league, etc., play Rio. Say for instance, for against Fulham, I would play Rio, and against PSG, I would play, and even in the FA Cup, I'd play him over against Man City.
I feel like Isak might not feature
I think
as like the main guy at all in this season because Ekitike, who megged the referee, by the way, did you see that? That was pretty sweet. He Cruyff megged the referee. It was really cool. In the France game, I'm not sure which one it was, which of the poundings they delivered, but I think Ekitike is the guy. He's the man to lead the line for the rest of the season.
When he's fit, he'll be starting. I think Isak would probably be coming off the bench for the next couple of games. He might get a start during maybe next month at some time, but no, I think he'll be coming off the bench for at least the next 3 games.
Strategically, I'm going with Jake and saying I'm looking at him next season, but I also would leave him primarily for the league games. I think just because of the familiarity with the league and just there's a different pressure of, I mean, you guys are trying to finish top 4 or 5, Euro 5 right now. And I think there's a different pressure there than the Champions League and the Cup game. So I would actually feature him there and play your very best line. Not, because, I mean, I'm not including him because he's just not fit. So I would just stay with your informed guys for the Champions League. Because, I mean, they can win. Like, we don't play games on paper. So can they beat PSG? Absolutely. They can absolutely beat PSG. Why would they not? If you're this far in the Champions League, why is it not realistic for you to make a run to the final? I mean, as we talk about a potentially relegation team, Spurs, when they made the final, nobody saw that. Nobody saw them making that run.
Yeah, it's a possibility. I think we always raise our game for Europe. So, yeah, it's a possibility. But the league's bread and butter. We need to at least get a Champions League spot.
Yeah, and that's the other point, because the thing is, you got to still finish there. You talking about these other competitions. If you don't do well in the league, you won't even be in them things.
Exactly.
Be playing Europa League, watching Brentford in your spot next season. Look out.
Exactly. That's why we need to. That's why we need to go on a run these next couple of games, and I think, and no offense to, we don't have the squad of Manchester City, so I definitely think we should have some rotation going into the City game.
It sounds a little bit like it's a write-off. Like you wouldn't even mind not worrying about the FA Cup. Obviously, you want to win. I'm not going to say you don't want to win, but it also sounds like, not to steal a phrase from the Arsenal fan base, but it sounds like you got bigger fish to fry.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. The FA Cup does not give us a Champions League spot, and for finances, for financially, for prestige, it's the Champions League, and winning the Champions League is what. Yeah, so I'd have to prioritise that. Just on, I'm not saying the FA Cup's not important. It's a very important cup, in my opinion. But if I would have to rank them, I'd rank Champions League first.
Yeah,
second.
I mean, you look in
the FA Cup third.
Liverpool's on 49, and there are 3 teams behind you within 3 points. There's no way. There's no way you're just like, hey, man. Like, and then some of the other teams have decent, goal differential. And does Liverpool play Everton again or no?
I think you play all 4 of the teams right behind you in the rest of the season.
That's a derby.
We played Brentford at the last game of the season.
I think you played Chelsea as well.
We're playing Manchester United at the beginning of May. And we still got Chelsea.
Big games. Big games.
You play Everton again or no?
They play Everton the same day we play.
Play Everton,
the same day you play.
That's a giant. It's a freaking derby, man. Like,
it's away. It's away. It's at Hill Dickinson.
So to me, prioritizing the league means everything at this point. Because it ain't even 7 games. You got 4 games. 4 games that you must. You got to beat them. This is why to beat them or get points off.
This is why I've been banging on about the rotation against the City game. We need to rotate.
I don't know if Chelsea's gonna make it, man. If that's
Chelsea ain't gonna make it, man. Chelsea's not gonna make it. Kofane from Leverkusen. Big news coming out of Germany. Hey, we'll take him. He looked very good against us. I like the way he looked. I'll definitely take Kofane. Absolutely. I don't know if he'll come to us. No, he's not gonna play in front of Gyökeres, but it would be a good pickup, I think, in my opinion. Sure.
Is he from Leverkusen?
Who?
Yeah, Kofane. Yeah, Leverkusen.
Kofane is at Leverkusen.
I would guess that Zerbi would have the end, since apparently that's Liverpool's next year's manager.
There you go.
And he's coming. If he comes to the Prem.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, Arun, we'll get there, man. In a couple weeks. We'll get back to Man U in a couple weeks when you guys are relevant. When you're actually playing games again, brother. We're here for you. Go check out my short. It was I did a short on Man U fans during the international break. Make sure you're locked in over there on the shorts page every single time. Yeah. Yes, Arun. Yes, sir. Long in the future, you will play again. I promise. Your team will play again at some point.
Next season.
Oh my God. So how does this shape up as far as how this game is going to work out? I mean, do you think Pep's just going to press them to death? And I think if he does really get in their face, they're going to make mistakes and it's going to be a bloodbath.
Yes, but I think that's what he's going to do then.
Yeah. It probably won't be Foden because Foden played a lot during the international break. But we'll probably see Semenyo again. Haaland, obviously, since he didn't play at all. Shirky, I would start Shirky. Although, did you see the meme about Shirky being the 17th man on the France bench?
Yeah. But it's crazy. But that's how good they are, man. It's so crazy how good they are.
It's nuts. But yeah. Obviously, I feel like Bernardo will be there.
Yes, he will.
But
Diaz will probably be back because I think he's probably healthy now, and Pep will probably want to get him a game.
This is more Arsenal gas. The women's team beat Chelsea in the quarterfinal of the Champions League today. Well, actually, we lost the game, but we went through on aggregate, so that's always fine. But yeah, I think I tend to agree with you, Asif. I think you're going to struggle, and especially if what I'm hearing is the general mood around the club, and there's because in order to win this game, you need to it needs to be damn the torpedoes, balls to the wall. If Liverpool are going to win this, they need to come out and slap City in the face. And no sitting back, no trying to absorb. Don't try to be Arsenal, because if you do, you'll get pumped, I think.
Yeah, we don't have Arsenal's defence. Just put it that way. So there's no point in trying to play it your way. I think that was the mistake we made against City last time when they won 2-1.
Yeah.
We took off. We tried to play defensively, and it cost us. I think that was negative the way we did it. I think we should have tried to at least counter attack them instead of trying to play because Man City are basically as you know, they've been vulnerable to counter attacks this season.
Well, I mean, I'm looking here. City has 8 days before their next game, so they're for sure playing their starting 11 minus Trafford.
Best team, yeah.
They playing starting 11 in this one.
For sure.
Yeah, exactly. So, if I was Liverpool, I'd prioritise. And no offence to the FA Cup, but I know I've said it, but it needs to be priorities. But knowing that, knowing our current manager, he'll probably mess that up, and
he'll find a way. Trust
he'll find a way to mess it up.
Arne Slot. He'll find a way to do something dumb in that game. But yes, of course, I personally, like I say, unless Liverpool come out like house on fire style, I don't see them. I don't see them beating City at the Etihad. I think that they're just going to be
played on paper, so you don't know what we're getting when we come back. So I mean,
that's why it's weird, right? It's a weird feeling because it's like we've been away from club for so long. It's like
you don't know. You don't know what you're going to get.
There's no momentum, zero. Like that's reset. That's all reset. Like the whatever glow or like whatever you got from winning the Carabao Cup, that's gone. You know, it's all because normally football moves so fast that it's game after game after game after game after game. When there is a long break, it seems like a long break, you know.
In my opinion, I think the momentum that will be there for City is the same thing that I kind of said after the Carabao Cup is Bernardo was going to be under Pep, the only captain that didn't lift the trophy. So when they won the Carabao Cup, you know, he got to be one. But because this one is still on hand and City recognizing just the depth, they want to play as many games as possible. So I think the motivation to go through is that we want to give Bernardo another one, but we also want to keep as many games on the calendar as possible so we can use that as momentum to make whatever run that there can be made in the league. So I think that's going to be the motivation. And the thing is that the fact that these guys now, this unit that has come back, has literally now worked together and has won a trophy together. Like this unit has never won a trophy together. So now they actually knows what it feels like to make runs in a tournament like this, where they're like, okay, we know how to make a run. We need to go ahead and do what we need to do to make the final and go from there.
Yeah, absolutely. Well said. Just an aside here, just a small aside here for Charles. Is a hair pull in the ladies' game a red? Big criticism on Katie McCabe. She got beat. The Chelsea player beat her. She grabbed her ponytail and yanked her down. And nothing. I don't even think they called a foul. It was
Oh, because it's a card in men.
That's today. This happened today. So personally, any hair pull that yanks someone down, straight red for me.
But in the men's league it is.
Yeah, Cuckoo. Who was it? Romero that pulled Cucurella. That should have been a red. I agree. 100%. 100%. I agree with that. But yeah, there are three other quarterfinals in the FA Cup. Let's quick fire. We'll go through the other two, then we'll speak on Arsenal. Any thoughts on Leeds West Ham? Do we want either of them to make it through? I personally think Leeds is the better side. I think it's at the London Stadium, however. Yeah, it's at the London Stadium, so that'll be interesting.
I think West Ham will go through. Just because of the fact that Leeds are conceding more on the set pieces at the moment.
Yeah, sure.
And the physical way, like Souček, etc., can Mavropanos, for example. Yeah, I do think in a one-off game, I would probably take West Ham.
I think that's going to be a spicy one. On Sunday, it'll be fun. that game. West Ham have no reason not to be up for it, and like you were saying, Lewis, to kind of have the momentum of just winning. West Ham could really, really, really use it. So they would be totally bolstered by beating Leeds on home turf and going to Wembley. I think that'd be massive for West Ham in this season, and it might just be the boost they need to stay up.
Leeds play better at home, so
that's fair. That's absolutely fair. And massive upset alert. I just got a gut feeling. Port Vale at the Bridge.
There's no way, man. There's no way, man.
One thing we know is true, though. One thing we know is true. Chelsea will underperform. They will play down to their opposition because they always do. And they'll have to. It'll be some kind of scrappy, we got it over the line kind of. That's what I expect this game to go.
Well, I hear you. I don't think it will be, but I mean, again, you don't play games on paper, so I'm gonna leave it what it is. I mean, but it's a League One team,
Hey, big up the Port Vale players, man. That's gonna be an awesome experience. The Port Vale fans get to travel to the
bottom of the table, like they're gonna get relegated from League One. That's crazy.
At least they'll have a story to tell their grandkids. I got to play at the Bridge.
Yeah. Chelsea will win that one, man.
Yeah, Chelsea are definitely gonna win that one. And the Arsenal going to St. Mary's, where we have a horrendous, dismal record. It's not good reading. The last time we played Southampton in the league, I believe it was right after we drew to West Ham when Saka missed the penalty. And then we drew 1-1 with Southampton in a horrible game in the run where Man City overtook us in the 22-23 season. Woof.
So I'm guessing you guys are still playing like your third team because Champions League is after this.
Yeah, so I don't expect Rice to play. Madueke obviously won't play. Eze won't play. But Timber might be back. And if Odegaard is fit, 100% has to play. Have to get him back going, get him back playing. I don't want to see Kai in the 10. I would rather see Bukayo Saka in the 10 and start Max Dowman on the right-hand side than I would have Kai Havertz in the 10. It's just not a good situation. And I don't think we can necessarily take Southampton as light as any of the other teams we've played.
Do you know that Southampton hasn't lost in 14 matches? That's crazy.
It's got banana skin written all over it is actually what it's got. And if we don't take it seriously, and we think that we're just gonna go there and walk them, it could be a long day. And I personally don't think that we can afford that at all, especially after the disappointment in the losing the Carabao Cup. We need to get right back on the horse. A nice, strong 3-0 win. I don't care that it's championship side or whatever. Just come in, do the business, prove that you're the better team, and win the game, and get through. I think it's very important to win. And honestly,
I think they will take it. I think they will take it seriously just because of the Carabao Cup disappointment. So I think they will.
And we all think that the keeper, God, Jesus Christ, what is his name?
Kepa. Kepa will play. Yeah, Kepa will start. I expect Kepa to start. Yeah. Gyökeres might sit, so that might mean that Havertz actually does start, which is fine.
But he'll play the 9.
If he plays in the 9, that's fine. That's fine with me.
Do you think Jesus will play?
Probably. He hadn't played in a while. I think he'll play. If that is the case, then Havertz will play the 10. Or if
Gyökeres doesn't start, yeah. Which he probably won't. Now that I'm thinking about it, this is literally the first time I've actually contemplated it. He might not play. So Norgard might play. We might still rest Zubamendi. He did have a little knee thing. And Rice, I don't know. We'll see. it'll be like a half rotate. It'll be like most of the guys. Gabriel and Saliba probably will play. At least one of them.
They'll play this one and the next one because your next game is like 3 days after.
I expect one of them will play, yeah. Especially with Hincapié has a knock. So Calafiori will play one of Gabriel or Saliba, and then Mosquera, and then maybe Timber if he's good to go to get the fitness back, or maybe Ben White there as well. But there'll be some changes, but there'll be some first team. I think Saka should play. I think he should start right from the rip. You haven't played in a while, and so I think you should be fine. Yeah, I don't think it's 100% rotated, Charles. Not 100% rotated. I think we still need to take this seriously.
It's a FA Cup game, so I do think you need to play at least the spine of the team.
I mean it's a quarterfinal, and it's not like this is the fifth round or whatever. This quarterfinal, and not winning this game is not an option. Like we need to go through and get back to Wembley immediately.
Then you could if you're winning quite comfortably, then you could rotate and get a few players off and rest them.
That would be my strategy. When you're up 3-0 at halftime, then you can bring on Max Dowman. You know what I mean? Then you can bring on the kids, the guys that aren't going to play. You can let Jesus have a whole half, but be up 3-0 first. You know what I mean? Like don't make this a game where we go out of the cups back to back, and then we have to get up for the biggest of the cups 4 days later to go to Sporting. You know what I mean? Who we can't underestimate them either. So we've gotten to the stage of these tournaments where, yes, okay, we should go through, but we're at the stage now where it's like there's no more like, this is a crazy huge embarrassment if you lose. No, these teams are decent.
Yeah,
you need to show up. It's no longer, you have the easiest run ever. No, it's time to prove why we're here. There's no longer taking games lightly. So I think it's a half rotation. I think Saka should play. I think Martinelli or Trossard definitely should play out on the left. And get this one put to bed, and we go back to Wembley. Anything less is actually, I think, really, really bad going into the next game versus Sporting. But yeah, those are my thoughts on that. Plenty of other things going on this week. What do you guys think about Roberto De Zerbi coming in to Spurs?
I'm going to let Asif go first because he had some good stuff in the chat. So I'm going to let him do it.
With De Zerbi, I'm surprised. First of all, they've got no break contract in his contract.
It was crazy, right?
Yeah. And I did mention it in the chat with us guys.
Yeah.
Why would you pay a manager Premier League wages when if you could potentially be in the Championship? So that's one of my. That's the first thing. It's going to be hard to impose his style of play straight away. Tudor had that problem. Let's see. I know at Marseille he had a problem if, especially when it came to discipline with some of the team. Yeah, Marseille wasn't. I know they lost a lot of respect for him. Some of the players there. So I think, and looking at the Spurs team, a lot of them do not. Yeah, they're not. They don't seem to be more on the discipline side. So that I think that could be a source of friction. Him coming in and saying it's going to be this way. I know he's a lot more of a discipline. He likes to discipline his players, etc. I know he had a bit of a falling out with Mason Greenwood. He dropped him for a couple of games, for example. So, and I think going forward, it's I think this hopefully maybe this trying to see the long term on that, but I think it's a bit stupid when you're facing a relegation to think long term. You need someone personally, you need someone to stabilize it, and then go get someone in the summer. That would have been my the way I would have done it. But yeah, I'm sure they've got some sort of plan. We'll see if it works.
First game, Stadium of Light.
Yeah,
exactly.
Man. I mean, he has 11 days though, because the next game is like on the 12th, so he has some time. I think it's interesting, and I agree with Asif about like just having a stable manager. I think that's something that really matters. But I think looking at it and saying, okay, well, this is what we want to plan. And the thing is, he's called Spurs a big club, and he's said all the things. So to Charles's point, he's trying to say, hey, you're good enough to get the next couple of points that you need to get. Because I mean, they're sitting on 30. They have to get at least 8 to 10 points, at least. And the thing is that if you have 7 games, 8 to 10 points, like to a regular person, that's 8 to 10, 8 to 10 points, and you got 7 games. That you only need to get points out of half of them. That feels, like realistic.
On the surface.
But the thing is, you still got to go do it. And I think the funny thing is, I think Jake, you kind of mentioned this before, or either Asif, that Sunderland is safe. Like they know they're safe. They're foot off the gas. They're at 43 points. So is this a chance for Spurs to get something? I don't know if they win, but I think Spurs can get a point in that game, especially how far out it is. And the thing is that I just think, to Asif's point, putting in a brand new system feels like, especially since they just brought him in at the end of the break. I mean, if I'm Spurs, I bring him at the beginning of the break, because now I'm saying, hey, I'm telling all these guys who are not playing international, come on in. That gives me an extra week to work with these guys, and then I have 11 games after the internationals come back, and now I can prepare and say, hey, we're talking about Spurs. We're a London team. We won Europa League last year. We were perennial top 6. We had a hiccup this year, even though people make fun of us. We've shown that we have, metal to do X, Y, Z. And hey, man, and just the math, right? We need 8 to 10 points out of the next 21 points. Like, if you just make it simple, I need 8 to 10 points and 21 points. If you're saying what, so I can do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like they could do that. That's you can take a draw somewhere, but then you got to win one here and there. But if you win 3 games, you're good. You win 3 games, you're good. So
yeah, like, but they've got 2 games which are basically 6 pointers.
No, and I get that, but that's what I'm saying. Like, so that's where you're looking. You're like, okay, well, let's not even target those other ones. Let's win the 6 pointers. Let's just target those games. We win those 2, because you said it's 2, right? You win the 2,
got Wolves,
and then that's 6 points, and I just need to win 1 more game. So of the 7 games, I only need to win 2 for sure, and then I need at least a win, or I can draw the rest of them. That's 10 points. That's literally 10 points.
The pressure's going to be on immediately. The pressure will be on immediately, though, because next weekend, West Ham host Wolves on Friday. So presumably, and that's presumably because Wolves, of course, are resurgent. If West Ham do beat Wolves at kickoff,
they'll pass them.
At kickoff on Sunday, Spurs will be in the relegation zone.
They will.
Forest play at the exact same time, and they host Aston Villa. So we'll see about that one. But at kickoff, Spurs could very well be in the zone in the 18th place. So the pressure will be on right out the rip. And I tend to agree with you guys. If they're going to play like Roberto Zerbi ball, like I expect, like how he has played in the past, I don't think it's a great idea. I don't think it's going to be a great idea. Well, Bergval will be pumped for one, and Vicario will be all tears. He's a project on his hands. Yeah, it's gonna be tough. He needs a new goalkeeper. I'm not gonna lie, and especially if Vicario's not back for the Sunderland game, and they have to play Kinski in that game because Vicario had surgery this break on a hernia, and I have no idea what the recovery is like for that. And so maybe Vicario will be back, and it's such a bad situation when you're like begging. Please God, let Vicario be back because your backup is like that. And it's just a mess. It's just an absolute shambles. And I agree that it's going to be so hard to implement, not even just implement something new, but the way he likes to pass out from the back, the way he likes to like rock and roll press, like almost like Klopp was, like, I don't know that he's going to be able to get that across in a way that is going to be defensively solid at all. And that's going to be a problem.
For sure.
That's going to be a massive, massive problem for them. But we shall see. They do have 11 days, as you said. But yeah, I think it's going to be a tough road ahead for them. Speaking of tough, dark days ahead, Chelsea have reported the largest pre-tax loss in all of Premier League history. And if you look at the list that's going around, they are the top. They're 5 of the top like 8 in all of history in this category. Not a category you necessarily want to be doing good in. But the reason I bring them up really to speak on it is because of the interview. Let's see what Charles says right quick. Does Zerbi persona close to Conte? Things go a little bad. Boy, oh boy, can't stop it. That's true. That's very true. It will be entertaining to see his interactions with the media as far as how Spursy those get. I'll be looking forward to that, of course. But, yeah, I just want to touch in on Mark Cucurella's comments. I don't know if you saw it at some point since the PSG game. He's given an interview to someone, but it's making the rounds. And essentially, he's just straight up calling out the board.
Yep.
He said, he understands the model, but also you didn't help the team because you didn't buy the player, essentially echoing what Maresca said. And he's not the first one. With all of the rumors around Cole Palmer supposedly wanting to go back to Manchester, Enzo Fernandez and what he said to ESPN Argentina, it's looking pretty dark, especially when you factor in the news or the whatever, through the grapevine that the Chelsea hierarchy, the powers that be, aren't going to change anytime soon. And so not only are you've stated that you're not going to change, now you're telling us that you're not even running the business well and you're losing all kinds of money, and you're facing a transfer ban in a season from now, and you can't buy players under 16 like you love to do. Like, it just, the hits just keep on coming and coming. So, like, they're not in a great spot. It looks like they're in a terrible spot to me, especially with on the pitch, they're not performing either. Like, Cole Palmer has been truly awful for a while. He's had some moments here and there, but for almost a year now, he's just not been anywhere near it. We just said that he might not even make the World Cup squad. It's looking dark for Chelsea, guys.
I mean, I look at it and I say this, it's like, so to the Zerbi point, Charles is right. The Zerbi is very constant. It's an Italian thing, right? It's an Italian thing. That's what they do. They're live wires. But I think the thing about it is that, you're looking at Spurs and you're watching that. And even though I didn't say it because I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but you look at it and you say, well, is the Premier League really going to let Spurs go down? Are you going to let one of your top 6 to 8 money makers miss out on the league? I'm not saying questionable calls are coming, but I won't be shocked if we start seeing some calls that kind of benefit them, because the league will be absolutely insane to let one of their, especially a London team that just built a stadium, fall out of the league. That'd be absolutely crazy. To embarrass them this year, that's fine, but do whatever. Chelsea here, like the Blueco has been just like every year we've literally said, "Hey man, what are you doing? What are you doing? What?" Every year we've said this, and the thing about it is we look at it and they self-reported. So it really begs the question if they're even in it for sporting. It really does. You have to really ask the question: are you even in it for sporting? Because like the thing I sent to you earlier, Jake, where Goldbridge, whatever his name is, the Man U fan who
Goldfish.
who he was like, hey, you know what? I don't think anything's gonna happen on the blue side of Manchester because just the logic that I've been laying out. Why would you let one of your top performing team that's bringing fans and helped you get your TV contract? And that was the point I was gonna make. Like, so you go back to one of these TV places and say, hey, yeah, so next year, one of the teams that gets the highest ratings, we're gonna get rid of them. Not that they did, not that something on the field caused it, like Spurs, who also get ratings, but we're gonna kick them out. There's no way that those contracts don't have clauses about them teams in there, man. There's too much money being expended that pays these contracts that you're telling a team, hey, I can't invest in my team. Now, the thing that's crazy is that they've invested in Chelsea, they've invested in their team, but it looks like they're just investing in junk bonds. Like, what are you doing? Like, you just, the under 60, and when the players are now going specifically to your strategy, that means that we really have to question if you're in it for sporting. I got a buddy who's a Man U fan, and Man U fans have said it because even Goldbridge or whatever the man name is said, hey man, the United owners, all they do is take money out the team. So you got the top owners of the top clubs, with the exception, I don't think Arsenal, the Cronkies really take money out. They don't finance the same way. But they've been putting money in the team. Liverpool, but the Fenway Group, is that the Fenway Group, or I'm not sure the name of who runs Liverpool. I think it's the Fenway Group. They put money in their team. So you're saying to me that you're watching these other teams lose money. They're red on their balance sheets, and you're sanctioning them for the stuff they're doing. And you're gonna say, hey, but that blue team that literally stays in the black, and the owner's like dumping money in the team because he wants the team to be good. Let's get rid of them. Go tell that to the TV partners. So I'm gonna leave that there as my giant rock. But the Chelsea thing is crazy because like they just did, this unit just came into the team 4 or 5 years ago. You've been there for 5 years, and every year the questions are about what are you doing as a ownership group every year. And the thing is all they've had is the bandages of they won the Club World Cup, even though we watched it and we don't know how they did that. And then you look at the other performances, you're like, well, what are they doing? They've gone through 5 managers? Is that right? I think they've gone through 5 managers so far.
Blueco themselves have gone through 7 managers.
So so when the players start calling you out, a couple of things are going to happen, right? Either you're going to bring the player in and tell him to be quiet. If you bring the player in and tell him to be quiet, and he's on and he's marketable, he's out. He's gone. And more than likely, whoever his agent is has more than one player in your team, so he's taking his other clients with him. So that's not going to happen, because if that happens, this guy has clients in other teams, and he's like, well, we're not selling anyone to that team. So you keep buying 16-year-olds if you want to. So they're not going to do that. So they're not going to shut Cucurella up, especially since Reese liked what he said on the Instagram thing. I saw Reese said something, so he liked it. So that means the only thing they can do is make an adjustment. Yes, that's Charles. That's exactly
clean out the summer possible. What Chelsea player would you take?
I was just about to say that. He got perfect timing. They're going to let guys go, man. They have to.
I'd take Caicedo. Maybe. But
I think that's what's going to happen. I think they're going to let guys go. That's the only way you make it make sense. And the thing is that
yeah, I'll take Esteval. Sure.
Isn't he 16? I don't think I'll let him go. They like the young ones there, and I don't mean it in a disrespectful way,
But I wouldn't take Enzo. Yeah,
no.
pause. No, I wouldn't take Enzo.
At all.
Cancelo.
Caicedo, yeah, probably. I mean, there's so many defenders at Arsenal. I don't know that we need Cucurella.
I know City would take Reece in a heartbeat.
Nah, but he already signed. Reece already signed.
I know.
Of all the players in that core, for me, he's the only one as a player that from a player point of view that it makes sense to re-sign. They offer you 6-year deal. The way your legs are, the way your hamstrings are, bro. Yeah, you take that all day. The rest of them, what's their incentive? What's their incentive to stay? Because they know the future is more of the same. And more of the same is not going to, okay, you might win the odd summer tournament, but bless you. But you're not winning the Champions League. You just got destroyed. You got absolutely embarrassed. You're not going to win, you're not going to win the league. You might scumbag the FA Cup. Maybe. But you're definitely not winning the league. So what's the future at Chelsea? What are you building that is attractive to the big players that want to stay, that are there, is what I'm saying. That's there already,
In regards to you're talking about Chelsea, I know they've got a few players already signed for next season. If I was them, I'd, for example, give Cole Palmer a fresh start.
Yeah, I'd let him go.
I'd
let him go.
I'd let him go just because.
If you can still get a big sum for him and put a dent in those losses,
yeah, I think he would. That would pay down some of what they've already used on the transfers, and then take it from there. Invest in a couple of defenders. I would some experienced defenders. And then,
Charles is right here, Asif. Liverpool could use Caicedo. That'd be a big signing for Liverpool.
They absolutely could.
Yes,
they could.
Not Lavia. He's too injury prone. We got enough injury prone players. But Caicedo, yeah. I think
there it is.
Would definitely be the Quenda who they've bought, the Sporting Lisbon player.
Yeah.
He would be he more or less plays in Cole's position anyway, so
I can see Cucurella leaving too. After he said something, I can see him leaving. Go right back to
another sign. That's another signing that would be a great signing for someone else, like even Liverpool. I'd take Cucurella.
Yeah, sure. It's man, it's the clouds are hanging, and unless they just miraculously Rossinier just starts getting it right. And see, that's another thing about the future. When the powers that be come out and say, oh yeah, well, the manager doesn't really have that much influence on how things go. It just leaves you flabbergasted. It just leaves you baffled. Like, what in the hell are you talking about? So I was going to say that if Rossinier just manages to get it together and get them working together, but apparently he doesn't have that much influence. So I don't know what they're going to do. It looks bleak. It looks pretty bleak. And they might be going down another, the Tottenham path where they slowly just get worse and worse and worse and worse. I don't know if they're going to get that bad.
But I think the point that you're saying is really important. It's another London team. You're watching what they're doing, and do you want to be that?
No, God, no. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But speaking of wanting to be somebody, they do hate us because they ain't us. Isn't that right, Nez? Pep Guardiola, is he going to be gone at the end of the season? Are Man City going to get a 60-point deduction? What is with all the crazy rumors flying around? Are we really that bored on the international break? I mean, is that what's going on? Which one do you want to pick at first? Let's start with Pep leaving. Do you think he's actually going to leave at the end of this season?
I think that's a possibility.
And I don't think he is because of the signings they're looking to bring in. I think because of the guys they want to bring in, Pep is literally the draw. And a lot of guys signed contracts connected to that as well. Rodri is up for a renewal. I think there's a couple of things that they need to take care of in-house. So I think he has from everything he said publicly, he plans to be there next year, but that's his last year, and I feel confident that he'll go into next year and he'll probably make it known that it'll be his last year. I think it'll be like public knowledge.
Yeah, I think he's never broken a contract. He's very clear about that, and so the rumors that have been around about looking for a possible replacement, etc., etc. I think those contacts were more for next year and see whoever's available for him going on. But yeah, I do think he's going to go, just not this year. I think most likely it will be the following year. I know he's the personal life had when he signed the new contract, he had a bit of a falling out with his
his family wants to stay in Spain.
Yeah, his wife, etc., or ex-wife now. I don't know.
You know, the funny thing is, I think Trafford is going to go next year.
Really?
He wants to start. He's good enough to start.
Wants to be number one.
He's good enough to start. So I think he is going to go.
Yeah, this is just hopium from Charles, though. The whole team is gonna.
But here's what's funny about it is the Rodri thing picked up traction because there was other City people, and the funny thing is they had to go back and say, "Hey, you didn't listen to the whole interview," and then they played the whole interview, and he was just basically showing Madrid respect as an organization, but he was like, "Hey, man, I'm not going anywhere."
Yeah,
like what? And it's just so funny, but that's a part of the reason I think what essentially will happen is Pep will stay one more year, and it'll be the end of his contract. He'll do next year. I think because of the World Cup being this year, it's also another good reason to keep him there for stabilization post-World Cup. And then I think after next season, he is going to go. But I think even though it feels weird, I think they're going to go after Maresca, but I think Company is on the radar because if Vinny is able to do, because a lot of people are not giving him credit because they're like, oh, anybody can do it. But if Vinny is able to win the Champions League at Munich, that's going to be giant because people are like, oh, well, he just has good players. I'm like, you know how many other Bayern managers had a bunch of good players and didn't win? Like, what are we talking about? If he wins the Champions League, that's giant. Giant.
I mean, yeah, that'd be absolutely massive if he wins.
He's writing his check anywhere he wants to go after.
I was gonna say, yeah, he's a shoo-in. If he does at Bayern what Pep couldn't do at Bayern, yeah, he's a shoe. Right. If he wants the City job, they'll give it to him.
Well, I mean, he was going to get it anyways, but if he wins it, like, and to your Pep comparison, in less time than Pep did too, because Bayern was still kind of rebuilding when Vinny came in, and they had like other like top quality managers, and I'm not saying they're not, but that's how the labels were, and they brought in this inexperienced guy, and then Bayern asked Pep, hey, should we bring him in? Pep was like, hey, man, if I was hiring him, I'd hire him. Like, Pep gave the seal of approval to bring him to Bayern, which means there's a good relationship there. So, I mean, I don't know. But I mean, it's realistic. This is the quarters, right? Is that right? This is the quarters in the
quarterfinals.
The quarterfinals of the Champions League, they look legit good. And if he wins this year, you give him another year there. Why not?
Yeah.
Because then what else is there to prove? He's not German, he's Belgian. And he's a legend at City. So, you know, there's a kind of a different thing too. So now he's not going in because you got to think about if you're replacing Pep Guardiola, you have to kind of have not necessarily, but optically a pedigree. If he's able to win the Champions League and he follows Pep, who's going to say anything? Not a soul is going to say anything.
Nobody.
You bring in Enzo Maresca. I mean, he's a disciple. He won the Club World Cup. He clearly knows how to win. All right. And then you got, who was the other guy? It was another guy. Who's the other one? I can't remember who the other guy is. But there's another person too.
Yeah.
It's funny because Enzo Maresca is literally just like kind of like they're hovering around him. But it is what it is. But I can see Pep leaving at the end of 27. But I also think they'll make it known so he doesn't spend the whole year talking about it.
Well, his contract is up at the end of next season.
Right.
Yeah.
So I mean,
it would make sense.
I think
he'll say something though, so they don't ask him all year. Because if you remember, 2
Yeah.
years ago when his contract was up, they asked him all, and he was getting pissed. He's like, "Hey, man, I'm coaching. I'm trying to win games." I think I think he would say something.
Yeah. I'm actually like, for me, like, and this will kind of bleed into the next topic, the next kind of question I want to ask. I want to beat Pep before he goes. I want to win the league on Pep's head top before he goes, you know. And so, like, if I don't win it this season, I want him to stay because I want to win it next. I want to beat Pep. I want to be able to say we beat Pep. Even at the end of his tenure, we beat him. We did get one over on him to win the league. I want to be able to say that for sure. And having said that, I don't want you to get a 60-point deduction. Now, I personally don't believe that the 60-point deduction has any validity whatsoever. And I've done been doing the Cup Chasers daily series every morning, and I did a whole video on why it's a bunch of baloney. Too long didn't read version is Kieran Maguire said on the Overlap podcast that based on the Leeds and Everton punishment, if Manchester City were found guilty, and here's his words, it would be reasonable for them to get a 40 to 60 point deduction based on what happened to Everton and what happened to Leeds. Now, he said this in January, and he said it would be reasonable if all kinds of ifs and maybes and could be's. There's nothing definitive there. And then about a month later, a Colombian journalist and news anchor guy said that it's guaranteed. And that was like 3 days ago. 3 or 4 days ago. He said, yep, guaranteed. Man City will get a 60-point deduction. There will be a verdict by the end of the season.
Jake,
but
I wouldn't trust what a Colombian journalist says. No.
There was he took it from it's possible, it would make sense to definitely going to happen. And the internet, it's called a feedback loop, is what this is. It's called a feedback loop because he tweeted that out, and then all of the aggregators, the Daily Mail, the Express, the Mirror, Football London, Football 365, all those shit aggregator accounts just started parroting the same thing over and over and over again until now the YouTubers are making videos. Hell, I made a video. It's all over Twitter, and people take it as the gospel, and it's just becomes a feedback loop going over and over and over on itself when it's all bullshit that is not actually going to happen. They're not going to give a 60-point deduction. The 115 verdict will not be given by the end of this season. There's no telling when that's going to come out. And none of this developments has had any effect on the case whatsoever because it's all a bunch of bullshit that came from nothing at all. So I'm just annoyed. I'm just annoyed.
It was hating because, again, like people are using their emotions. That first of all, we just understand on this. FFP was literally made sure so the historic teams could stay in place. That's the only reason FFP was created because you don't really hear much about it anymore because it was unrealistic to say new investors, hey, you can't spend money on a team that you just bought. How stupid is that? You don't have a salary cap, but now you're telling me I can't spend money. And then you get to look in books that, hey, man, if you didn't look in these books when I purchased the team, why do you get to look in the books now? Right? So because there's different criteria that go with that. But then, again, I laid a couple of breadcrumbs. I'm like, first of all, I know the TV contracts that they sign literally includes the top tier teams. So anyone who believes, hey, man, that's what's going to happen, I struggle to see it because every TV place that literally said, hey, man, we want to broadcast you, we're going to pay you tip-top dollar. They care about that. And because you know they're working on the next negotiation, you think they're going to be cool with that? Nope. And so you're saying that the sheik is he don't know none of the people? Because I'm pretty sure. See, do you know if beIN Sport, like not beIN, is there like a TV company? Because I know Sky does the Prem in England, right? Is that right?
Yeah.
And then but you have to think of the other countries around England that are broadcasting this. So you telling me that the influence in Manchester City is not going to influence them TV contracts? Like, come on, man. Like, we really pretending like money, the billionaires don't work like this. I mean, I know people are going out of their way to protect billionaires with dollars in their pocket, but I'm just saying, they are protecting each other. Whatever is going to happen is going to happen behind closed doors, whatever it is. And there's a reason that this has taken this long, because now it's about saving face on all sides, because that's really what it is. Because the thing about it is, again, as Goldbridge or whatever, you're penalizing a team for investing in a team and their own team while watching other teams take money out the clubs. That's what you're saying their punishment is for. That's the rules they broke. And that's going to attract new investors into the team, into the league. That's so. Hey, man, we want somebody to buy Fulham, but you can't invest in your team. So I'm in London and I can't invest in my team. Nah, I'm good. Are we serious? Like, I mean, there's ramifications that come from this. I understand the copium and the feelings about, hey, man, we hate them. They cheated on the field, because on the field wasn't no cheating. We kicked the balls back and forth, and you got what you got. Other teams spent a bunch of money. Nobody stopped those other teams from spending a bunch of money. Other teams won titles. Chelsea won. Liverpool won. There's teams that have won things in that span, so I'm trying to understand.
Well, the hate is just sour grapes. The hate is just sour grapes, right? Because Chelsea have spent a shitload of money. Liverpool have spent a shitload of money. Even Arsenal, we've spent a shitload of money, 1-0. And what it comes down to is fans are upset that you've spent your money better than we have. That's what it, at the end of the day, that's what it comes down to. You guys, yes, you spent a lot of money. We all spent a lot of money. You did it better. Get over it.
The thing is, and Asif's point about the Colombian Journal, because I know I wrote to you about it, because Catacall is it's shady anyways. But most people in Colombia are either Real Madrid fans or Barcelona fans, and I'm gonna put money on it. And I don't bet like that it's a Madrid fan. And here's what the issue is if we go outside of the borders of England. The English are now going to get, 5 Champions League spots next year? And England looks super dangerous in the Champions League. Wouldn't it feel weird if all of a sudden the Champions League starts to become a Premier League thing, where the Premier League teams start to dominate that? Would the other countries be feeling a certain way about that? Would La Liga feel that way? Would the Bundesliga feel that way? Would Serie A feel that way? They absolutely would. And we already know the president of La Liga can't stand City. He's steadily talking trash about City all the time. So you think these things are not coming from anywhere where there's just a little greased up hands to say, let me grease up your hand so you can say what you need to say on your thing and use your credibility to say nonsense, but then say, oh, that's just my opinion. But leave that out when it gets quoted and retweeted and shared and made
500,000 views, 500,000 views in 3 days. Cesar Augustino, is it Londono or something like that? He's a very famous broadcaster in Colombia.
Londonio.
Yeah. And if anybody bothered to look at the original X comment section, like the first three comments are, dude, what's with your fake news? Why are you always posting fake stuff? But nobody bothered with that. See, this is really what pisses me off about it. I agree with you 100%. If you actually think about it a little bit, it makes no sense. But even if you thought about it for less than 10 seconds instead of no seconds, and you just gave it 10 seconds, I said in my video, it took me 14 minutes to figure it out that it was fake. 13 of those minutes were me writing the prompt for the AI for my veracity framework to test how true it was. So it literally actually took me 1 minute after I hit send on the prompt for it to come back, and it thought for 24 seconds, and it said, well, BBC didn't say anything about it. Sky didn't say anything about it. ESPN didn't say anything about it. The, verifiable news sources didn't say shit. But it was all the aggregator accounts. And this, guys, this is what pisses me off. It takes 10 seconds of effort. Have we really gotten – is that where we are as a society, that we'll just retweet it and it's the gospel and we don't give a shit if it's true?
Well, in addition to what you said, in that same breath of retweeting that and saying that those things, that those same outlets are also saying City's going to go for this player and that player and that player. So they're going to go for all these players on your same channel that you're reporting, but they're going to get – what? So why would they be spending money? Why would you spend money if you're going to get relegated? What are we doing?
Use your brains, people. That's all. That's all I can say. In addition to that,
I'll add another thing that I just contextually, because I think it kind of goes to Charles's point. Just so say that happens. Say they decide to deduct points from City this season. Do you understand that Arsenal winning the league, even though they will have earned it, would have had the greatest asterisk ever on it? You think any Arsenal fan wants that? Not one Arsenal fan would want that. Not one. Because immediately people would be like, oh, well, you kind of only won because they took points from City.
They gave it to you. They gave it to you, didn't you? The league gave it to you. That would be the narrative. That would 100%. And we would never escape that narrative. We would never escape that narrative.
And you think that the owners of Arsenal want that? There's no way they're going to the Premier League office and saying, hey, man, go ahead and do that. Go ahead and do that.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Because Liverpool, I mean, okay, I'm guilty of this. I am guilty of this. I still kind of have a tiny little asterisk next to the COVID win. I still, and so fans, yep, exactly. That's exactly it. There's that narrative there, because you could say this and you could say that and you could say this and you could say no fans and you could say that Man City was sick, like their whole team was sick for half the season, So you could. I don't want that shit. I don't want to hear that kind of shit about when I finally win a league after 23 years. I don't want to hear that. Oh, they gave it to you. Come on.
And it did, which made Liverpool's win last year more magnified because of all of, because now you're like, well, we won the league,
Yeah. Yeah. See, I don't want any of that. That's why I said I want Pep, I want Pep to be, I honestly want you guys to have a good rest of the season and not like just kind of fall off and whimper away. I want the game at the Etihad to be super intense. I want to win the league and feel like, damn, they pushed us, but we did it in the end. I want that to be how it happens. It's the same way we always talk about. You never want to see injuries. You want to play versus the strongest team you got, and may the best team win. That's where I'm at. No one's free from narrative. We just move from one to another. And our biggest bottle FC is the first in 2022. Well, that's before we've got lots more experience since then. And yeah, I think that's probably the definition, like the truest definition of bottling, is because we kind of just lost our nerve at the end of that season. So I can agree with that. I can definitely agree with that one. But yeah, as you can see, it's getting pretty late over there where Asif is. He's struggling. He's still here. Certainly grateful that you made it this far.
Allergy pills, man. The pollen is out. The pollen is everywhere.
The pollening has happened. That's for sure. So we'll cut it right there. Of course, I do appreciate everyone being here. It's been a good show. We've definitely been able to get to all the topics tonight. Make sure you're smashing up the like button on your way out. And of course, please subscribe to the channel if you are new. It would be an honor, a pleasure, and a privilege to welcome you on this road to 500 subs and the community every single time, of course. And of course, we want to know all your thoughts, comments, questions, and concerns down there in the comments section below. This has been the Cup Chasers podcast. Of course, thanks for being here, and we'll see us next time.